Welcome back. You're with the news today. Let's turn to the other big story today, where the CBI continued its grilling of actor Rhea Chakraborty in the Sushant Singh Rajput death case for a fourth consecutive day in Mumbai. Her brother too, Showik, was grilled by the CBI. The central agency has now summoned Rhea for further questioning on Tuesday. The questioning of other accused, including cook Neeraj, manager Shruti Modi and household help Dipesh, is continuing. Now, all of this comes on a day when India today has come up with more evidence that now suggests that Sushant Singh's family was aware of the actor's mental illness. Now, the family of Sushant Singh Rajput has claimed that they deny that they knew that the actor was suffering from depression. However, fresh communication that is available to India Today's Sahil Joshi and Munish Pandey suggests that Sushant was communicating with his sisters on that crucial day of June 8th when Rhea left him. On that day, they were advising him what medicines to take for his depression. Take a look at today's special report that throws another twist in the Sushant Singh Rajput case.
Explosive revelations that will be the biggest twist in the SSR death probe. What happened on the morning of 8th June? That lays bare that Sushant's sisters had full knowledge of his mental illness. Not only did they know, but one of his sisters, Priyanka, helped him get prescription drugs illegally. June 8th, time 10 a.m. Rhea Chakraborty still had not left Sushant's residence. India Today has accessed a conversation between Sushant and his sister Priyanka on a messenger chat. Sushant was communicating with his sister Priyanka, where Priyanka tells him to have 3 separate medications. The communication that happened on a messenger app, where Priyanka asks Sushant to start with Librium capsule for a week, then start Nexito 10 mg once every day after breakfast. Priyanka in the message also asks him to keep Lonazep tablets for SOS so that he could use it in case of an anxiety attack. Sushant tells Priyanka that he would need a prescription to buy these medicines, which then Priyanka arranges, saying that he doesn't need to worry, it's confidential. The message raises doubts on how Sushant was being given prescription medication without even consulting a doctor himself. Priyanka also tells Sushant that her friend was a renowned doctor and could help Sushant connect with other good doctors in Mumbai. Priyanka then shared a prescription and informed Sushant about it, to which he says, "Thank you, Sonadi." This was the prescription that was sent to Sushant on the chat by Priyanka. It is from a reputed psychiatrist in Delhi working at the well-known RML, Ram Manohar Lohia Hospital of Delhi. The date on it is 8th June. The prescription was written in Delhi while Sushant was in Mumbai without any consultation. This is medically illegal. Nexito, it's a type of antidepressant used to treat depression, used to treat anxiety and panic orders. Librium, sedative and a hypnotic medicine, used to treat anxiety, insomnia. Also used for treating acute alcohol withdrawal. Lonazep, MD, prescriptive medicine used to treat epilepsy, panic attacks and anxiety. Decreases excessive activity of nerve cells. Helps calm the brain. So far, the family of Sushant Rajput have said they don't know about any mental illness of SSR. Repeatedly, the family has released videos of him looking happy, Sushant spending time with family, reiterating that he was not suffering from any mental disorder. As per Rhea's lawyer, this chat will turn the narrative on this case and show who is lying.
What is shocking is that sister and the entire family have been in denial. They made a false statement before the Bihar police. They made a false statement before the ED. They made a false statement before the CBI. And worst was that they made submissions before the Supreme Court that it was Rhea who was giving him overdose and drugging him, and because of which the death has occurred. And therefore, they submitted that she has looted his 15 crores and taken away all his monies. And, the truth has uncanny habit of coming out. And this is coming out from the statements and messages of Sushant's sisters and family members.
The CBI investigation is still on. However, these chats raise uncomfortable questions for those who have believed a single narrative till now. Sushant's family members have maintained that they didn't know of his illness. This chat says otherwise. This chat raises questions and in fact brings to light that they very well knew of his illness. The family has said Rhea gave him medication, but here it is Priyanka who's instructing him to take medication. Priyanka was in touch with Sushant on June 8th. Rhea left the house post 12 noon. While Priyanka was speaking to Sushant since 10 a.m. How did Priyanka procure prescription drugs illegally for Sushant, even though he had not consulted the doctor himself? These questions will be disconcerting for a bereaved family that till now has denied reports of mental illness, with investigating authorities and on social media. His former girlfriend refusing to believe that he could be depressed.
I'm saying he was not depressed.
Okay.
That's my thing, what I'm saying. And if somebody's saying that's suicide, I want to know what was the reason behind it.
His colleagues, who never met him, but said he wasn't depressed. As new angles emerge, ultimately this case will be trial by fire for all agencies involved to let the truth prevail. Bureau Report, India Today.
And joining me now is Rhea Chakraborty's lawyer Satish Manashinde speaking on TV for the first time. Mr. Manashinde, what are you and your client trying to prove by claiming that Sushant's family knew of his depression? The fact is that the question that the family is raising, they claim that Rhea was giving Sushant the wrong drugs, that she was giving him the wrong medicines, and that was responsible in a way for Sushant's eventual deterioration in his health condition. What are you and your client then trying to prove now?
Well, I don't have to prove anything. The fact is that the family of Sushant made an allegation before the court, before the CBI, before the Patna police and various other investigating agencies that it was Rhea who was administering the medicines, number one. Number two, she was giving overdose and she was manipulating his health. As a matter of fact, it is revealed that Rhea had taken him to doctors of his choice and all reputed doctors of the city of Mumbai. There were 5 doctors who were advising him from time to time. The first doctor he went to was in 2013 and the last doctor whom he was consulting was in 2020, even on the date when Rhea left the house. Therefore, there was nothing which Rhea did without the advice and prescription of the doctors concerned. Now it is revealed that on the 29th of November, Sushant's sister had taken messages from Shruti, including the doctor's telephone number. She knew what the medication was being administered, and therefore they were aware of it as far back as November 2019. Now what the revelations are being made by your channel is that on the 8th morning at about 10:14, a message was exchanged between Sushant and his sister in connection with a few medications which she had always been advising, and therefore his sister appears to have sent a prescription of Ram Manohar Lohia Hospital of a doctor who was always practicing there, who has never met Sushant Singh, and therefore, he first offence that he has committed is under the Mental Health Act is to prescribe medicines which are prohibited under the Narcotic Substances Act, which are to be given only after due care and caution and after examining the patient and after having conducted all the tests. Number one. Number two, he has administered medications to a patient who was not before him, and he has treated him as an OPD patient. If you see the document that he has exhibited on the TV, it says that he is being treated as an OPD register, and there's a number of he's mentioned on the prescription. Thirdly, and most importantly, it was made to believe that he was giving an online. It is now believed that they are taking up an argument. Even in the messages, Priyanka has said that it will be an online consultation. Online consultation in pandemic time is allowed only for minor treatment that the doctor is administering to his known patients whom he has examined. Here is a case where the doctor has not examined him. He is giving him prohibited drugs. He is giving him medication as an outpatient department patient. And therefore, it is a complete forgery and a bogus document which was sent by the sister to her own brother.
Mr. Manishinde, you're throwing... I'm going to ask you in conclusion, both of you are throwing, in a way, both sides are throwing mud at each other. Sushant's family is putting out WhatsApp messages which suggest that Rhea was either procuring drugs for Sushant or was having the drugs with him, and you on your part now are questioning the family and saying they were well aware of Sushant's depression. None of this, of WhatsApp messages, electronic messages, do not stand scrutiny in court. They are not admissible evidence though.
All electronic evidence, including WhatsApp messages, are admissible in a court of law. The messages which have been relayed by you today and which I have seen on the screen of India Today totally reveal that they are admissible evidence. And I can tell you for a fact that Rhea Chakraborty, before the Mumbai police, before the ED and before the CBI, has made a positive statement that on the 8th morning, the reason for her departure from Sushant's house was that throughout the day when she was there till about afternoon or noon, Sushant was consulting his sisters and trying to take medication from her doctors, and therefore she insisted.
That's not what she told me. That's not what she told me. No, Mr. Manishinde, Rhea Chakraborty told me. Rhea Chakraborty told me Sushant asked her to leave. Mr. Manishinde, when I interviewed Rhea Chakraborty, she said she was asked to leave by Sushant. Now you are telling me
there was discussion going on between the two of them. When the discussions were going on between the two of them, and at which time Rhea insisted that you take medicine prescribed by the doctors who have met you and under whom your consultation are, Sushant told her to leave the house with her bag and baggage. It was only Sushant who asked her to leave the house. That is why she had to leave along with the brother who was there. So it is not a made-up story or a different story that I am narrating to you, that there was a discussion.
Okay, you've given your point of view. You've given us your point of view, and you've given us a major new twist in a way to this continuing saga of Sushant Singh Rajput. Let's leave it to the CBI and the ED, particularly the CBI, to look at this important twist that has taken place. Sushant Singh Rajput's sisters knew of their brother's condition and were actually allegedly prescribing medicines, is what is being alleged. Appreciate your joining us, Mr.